back again for another holiday themed bead ornament. This one will work well, because in this video, we're making a bead angel. The bead angel is the perfect holiday bead design that looks great, and of course it's got a unique look and it's pretty easy to make. It makes a wonderful bead ornament you'll want everyone to see, so make this creation the guardian of your tree. So get ready for a tutorial that'll satisfy your creative needs. Feel free to give this video a like and enjoy this episode of TurboBeads. Here's the list of everything you need to make the bead angel. To make the beaded angel, let's start out by taking 3 feet of string, matching up the ends, and making a loop on the other end of the string. Next, we'll take the 2 matched ends of string and run those around the loop, creating a second loop. Then, we're going to run those 2 matched ends of string through that second loop, pulling the string all the way through, creating a knot. Continue tightening and pushing the knot toward the top until the loop size is just right. Once you have the knot tied and the loop size to your liking, this is what it should look like so far. From here, we'll have 2 ends of string to work with to create rows that'll make up the pattern, which creating rows should be pretty simple, so check this out. To make the first row, we'll take 1 end of the string and add 4 yellow beads to the string. Now that we have those beads on the string, we'll take our other end of string and we'll run it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction. Watch close as I guide the string to these beads. Once you have that string through all of those beads, you'll pull both ends of the string until those beads have reached the top. As a quick tip, if you're ever having trouble keeping a row of beads straight, you can always reinforce that row by running a toothpick in between all of those beads that create that row. This will help keep those beads straight aligned and in place. Just be sure to break off the ends of the toothpick to keep that stick from showing through the sides. Now that we have this first row of beads reinforced with a toothpick, we're now ready for the next row. Creating the second row is just as easy as the first row. So once again, we'll take 1 end of the string and we'll add our beads to the string. But this time we'll add 3 orange beads to the string. Now that we have those beads on the string, you'll take your other end of string and run it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction. Once you have that string through those beads, you'll pull both ends of the string until those beads have reached the top, bringing all of the beads together. We will continue repeating the same steps when creating additional rows for this pattern by taking 1 end of the string and adding your beads to that string. Then taking your other end of string and running it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction. When you have that string through those beads, you'll pull both ends of the string until you've reached the top, bringing all of those beads together. So just continue repeating these steps, creating additional rows, following the pattern as seen at the top of the screen. As you can see, the first 4 rows of this pattern will represent a halo and face of the angel, with the orange beads as the hair. Once we finish the 5th row, we're now ready to create the arms of the angel. To make the arms, we'll take 1 end of the string and add 3 white beads to the string with a tan bead on the end. That's a total of 4 beads looking just like this. When you have those beads on the string, you'll run them toward the top. Using that same end of string, you'll run that string through 6 white beads. That's these 6 white beads here that make up part of the 5th row, with the string going in the direction toward the pattern. Watch closely as I guide the string through these first 3 white beads. As you will see, doing it this way will make it a little bit easier to understand and manage. Once you get that string through those beads, be sure that those 3 beads are set in place, holding them down while pulling the string all the way through, and that bead on the end will lock into place. Again, using that same end of string, we'll run that string through the next 3 white beads, continuing in the same direction. When you get that string through those beads, be sure that you pull the string all the way through, reducing any slack in the string to ensure that the beads stay locked into place. With that string all the way through, we are now ready to create the next arm. Making the next arm should be just as simple as the previous arm. Now we'll take the other end of string and add 3 white beads with a tan bead on the end. Remember, that's a total of 4 beads just like this. When you have those beads on the string, you'll run those beads toward the top. Using that same end of string, we're going to run that string through these 6 white beads here, going in the direction toward the pattern. Again, I'm going to make this a bit easier to manage and understand by running the string through these first 3 white beads. So just watch close as I guide the string through these beads. Now that we have the string through those beads, you'll hold those 3 beads down in place, pulling the string all the way through until the bead on the end locks into place, just like this. Now we can continue running that same end of string through the next 3 beads that make up the 5th row. So continue watching as I guide the string through these beads. As a quick tip, you may find it a bit easier to run the string through each individual bead as I'm doing here. You'll notice that the string will fill up quite a bit of space in between the beads. Just be sure that you've ran the string through all of the correct beads. Once you have ran the string through all of those 6 white beads, remember to pull the string all the way through, reducing any slack in the string, and you finish another arm. With both arms finished, we're back to using both ends of string again to create additional rows for this pattern. Remember, it's just simple steps of adding beads to one end of the string, taking the other end of string, running it through those beads as well, going in the opposite direction, pulling both ends of the string until you've reached the top, bringing all of the beads together. Also remembering that you can always reinforce a row with a toothpick to keep those beads straight in a line and in place. Just don't forget to break off the ends of the toothpick to keep that stick from showing to the sides. Once you finish the 9th row, you'll tie off each end of string with a knot that's tied nice and secure to ensure that the beads stay locked into place. With this visual reference, you should be able to see that tying the string in a knot should be pretty simple. Here is a perfect example of how your knot should look. Remember to tie off both ends of strings with solid knots that are tied securely, taking your time to ensure that all the beads are locked into place and everything stays together. Now that those knots are tied and everything is locked into place, you'll carefully cut off the tied loose ends of string. As you can see, we finished the main part of this pattern, and now we need to create the wings to make it an angel, which should be just as simple as creating the main pattern. So to make a wing, what you'll need to do is take 1 foot of additional string. Then you'll take that string and run it through the 4 white beads that make up the arm of the angel. As you can see, I'm pointing out the beads once again of where I'll be running the string through. So just continue watching as I guide the string through these 4 white beads. When you get that string all the way through those beads, you'll only pull it halfway through, giving you 2 ends of string with equal lengths to use. Feel free to match up the ends of string to ensure that those 2 ends are the same size. As a quick tip, here's another way to reinforce a row of beads since we're using transparent ones. To reinforce the rows of the wings, we'll take a straw and we'll cut it down the center, which will make it easier when we add beads to it. So watch closely as I split the straw down the middle. Be sure to take your time when cutting the straw, ensuring that you're careful and safe. Once you have that straw cut down the center, you'll add 4 of those clear transparent beads on the straw. As you will see, this will end up becoming the first row of the wing. Now that you have those beads on the straw, let's cut off the ends to keep that straw from showing to the sides. From here, we can now take 1 end of the string and add those 4 beads on that string. Now that we have those beads on the string, we'll take our other end of string and run it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction. Once you get that string through all of those beads, you'll pull both ends of the string until you've reached the top, bringing all of the beads together. As you can see, this is exactly how it should look so far. We will continue creating additional rows with these 2 ends of string using the same steps, remembering that you can use the straw technique to reinforce a row of beads, keeping them straight, aligned, and in place. From this visual, you'll notice that each additional row for the wing will have 1 less bead than the previous row, giving us a total of 4 rows that'll take the shape of a triangle. Once you finish the 4th row of the wing, you'll tie both ends of string together with a square knot to keep all of those beads locked into place. Be sure that your knot is tied nice and secure to ensure that everything stays together. Once your knot is tied and all of the beads are locked into place, you'll carefully cut off the tied loose ends of string. With the first wing finished looking just like this, we are now ready to create another wing on the other side. So once again, we'll take 1 foot of additional string and run that string through the 4 white beads that make up the arm of the angel. As you can see, that's these beads right here. So continue watching as I guide the string through these beads. When running the string through these 4 beads, be sure to take your time, making sure that you've ran the string through the right beads to ensure the pattern turns out correctly. Remember, as it may be a bit harder to get the string through these beads, you can always guide the string through each individual bead until you've gone all the way through all 4 beads. Once again, when you get that string through those beads, you'll only pull it halfway through, giving you 2 ends of string to use of equal lengths. Remember, feel free to match up the ends of the string to ensure that the 2 ends are the same size. As we've done before, we'll add 4 clear beads to that straw, cutting off the end of the straw to keep that straw from showing to the sides, taking 1 end of the string and adding those beads to that string, then taking that other end of string and running it through all of those beads as well, going in the opposite direction. Once you have that string through all of those beads, you'll pull both ends of the string until you've reached the top, bringing all of those beads together. Remember that each additional row for the wing will have 1 less bead than the previous row, giving us a total of 4 rows that'll take the shape of a triangle, as you may need to use the straw technique to reinforce the row of beads, keeping everything straight, except for the 4th row, which only consists of 1 bead. Once you finish the 4th row of the wing, you'll tie both ends of string together with a square knot to lock all of those beads in place. Be sure that your knot is tied nice and secure to ensure that everything stays together. Once your knot is tied and everything's locked into place, you'll carefully cut off the tied loose ends of string, and your beaded angel is now complete. And there you have it, another perfect holiday bead design that looks fine and was fun to make. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful and you can create one just as great. If there's anything you'd like to add, requests or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you are new or you just haven't already, don't forget, you can always subscribe if you want to be notified for more bead tutorials just like this one. Hoping you'll tune in for the next one to satisfy your creative needs. Until next time, as always, happy holidays and thanks for watching TurboBeads.